Welcome to another episode of Travels and Wildlife Photography. This week, we are so excited to share with you some photos.
It's been a process getting here, guys. Right? It's a long day. We're trying to jam this in right before we go to Costa Rica. We're leaving at like 5 something in the morning tomorrow.
But we do have a lot of fun photos to share, and we do want to do it while it's fresh on our mind.
Yeah, that's mostly. And listen, guys, it's all for you. This is for you, the watcher. I almost called you listener. The watcher? Viewer? Maybe that's better?
Viewer,
Viewer's probably better. Anyway, we got a lot of stuff to go through. This is going to be the last, I don't know, week or more in Florida. So I had a workshop for scrub jays. So I'm just going to blast through some of these real quick and show you guys. What was really fun with the scrub jays is something I said the last time we were out was like there was a burnt area.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I hope we can get them in there. And we totally did. Yeah. I didn't get any great shots because I kept making sure my client had like, the better vantage point. Yeah. And she did get some really good stuff. So
wonderful.
But it was kind of cool seeing them in there. And then we had a really nice sky at the end, which was nice. I don't know if that's a dust spot or just, it looks like something on the laptop. Yeah.
Maybe
just me spitting on it. All right, so the next morning, I think it was?
Yeah.
Something like that. Go ahead, you want to talk about it? You went out and finally shot the housing.
So jazzed right now.
What? Yeah.
So
trying to make this happen.
Yes. I shot the housing. And
with the 10 mil.
Yeah, that's weird. It just says 100 to 400.
It's a photo I took of you.
Oh. Okay. So I shot the 10 mil. And you could see how close I am to this bird.
Yeah, look at this.
Really
That's you
close.
Taking this, probably this next photo.
Yeah. And it just, so it's unfortunate because it just doesn't work. I like the sand textures, but I do not like, I mean, he really does not stand out in the scene.
That was
and
a big problem.
Part of it is the surface of the water.
Oh, the white there.
Yep. So if I had ducked down lower, then he actually might have stood out
that's just the only
better.
One I had there,
yeah, that's the only one I included.
Okay.
But that actually might have worked. I don't know if I was lower.
Well, and this kind of looks like it's those waves going through it, and you can't really control. Sometimes they go high, and sometimes they dip on you. You know what I mean?
But I was definitely.
We wanted everybody to see like how crazy it is, like how close
I was
Emily
super
was to
close.
that bird.
And then Ray thought I was over there crushing it. You had a client that morning.
Yeah.
And I was just not.
Yeah. Well, yet.
Well, yeah. So then I went to, is that the great blue? Yeah.
Yes.
So I went to approach this great blue heron. Tried a couple like this, which I think is somewhat interesting.
It really is. I like this line of just that peering, that little window into the underwater.
And it's kind of like
realm.
the same as the dome port, right? Like that shape of the dome,
the curve
the curve, right? So I do like that, and I like how you can see the palm trees and stuff.
And I do think that seeing that curve here is only because you're on the 10 mil. I think it's a 24. You're probably going to be cropped in somewhere around here.
Yeah.
And you're just going to see a little bit, but not that full extent of it. You know?
So I think, there's shots like this, and then there's the, this one's like a little bit more...
lower.
Well, and flat. There's no dome to it.
Well, it's where the water is placed.
Right. I guess because I'm further in.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think there's...
This one. Is this the one?
This isn't even the one. That's the one. Yeah, so I think that's even lower because you can hardly see the stuff that was in the background there.
The rocks and stuff right there. Yeah, look at that. Look at the difference there.
Yeah, that really does something to kind of clear out the scene and just make it... Yeah, like, look at how busy that looks now in comparison.
You're right, but this...
You were thinking that was the shot, and you're like, oh, this shot's so good. And then that's not even the shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a massive difference between these two.
Yeah, and there's something interesting, I think, about both.
I agree.
I do still like the one on the left because I feel like it's... I don't know. It's kind of like a fun little peek into the underwater, while like I don't know, more having it. I don't know. I like something about it. I guess I can't really put a finger on it.
This one to me is sort of a photo of the above, and then a little peek into the underwater, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I feel with it. It's like,
Yeah.
this is the dominant area. There's more to look at up here.
Right.
And then you get this little window into the underwater world.
And I guess in this one, pretty much everything is in focus, which I think we've talked about, you know, too. And so it's just like, it's a very like almost busy picture, even though, I don't know, it's not making me like, oh my God, overwhelmed. There's so much to look at. But in comparison to the other one is just very like...
So clean and minimal.
Yes. Thank you for completing my thought.
Sure thing. I think this works also because the water's kind of calm.
Yeah.
It has some ripple to it, but it doesn't have that like wave,
it's
like
still...
that crazy texture.
Yeah, it's pleasant.
And I think that kind of clues me into that's something we can think about in the future.
Right.
Especially this with showing more of the above.
Either you have to be higher or lower.
Yeah,
like that in between doesn't work.
I think we get a lot more leeway when the water is calm.
Sure.
So if we get to places that have really calm water, which this place almost never had,
right?
Then I think we get that. But yeah, when you go to this to me is like I'm underwater and just getting a peek to above.
Right.
Like that's
right. Yeah.
I feel like that's the difference.
Like you had said once, like the fish's perspective. I think maybe you said that in the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and it does just give a clean, minimal look. You know, but man, you nailed it. You really did. Yeah.
Oh
It's
gosh,
so good.
So good.
I do love that shot. Yeah.
I apparently edited it differently a couple of times. So.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Probably.
Yeah.
There's a few different
I think
versions.
I liked a little bit more blue one there.
Yeah.
So this was some of the stuff I shot that morning with the client. Yeah,
that's
just doing
killer.
some standard stuff. There's Emily.
There's me wandering around.
I love that it looks like you're just out in the water with boats and stuff.
Yeah, that is kind of fun.
You know, which you were in a more protected cove. They were out in the big inlet. Yeah. But it's just a funny perspective, so I left that in there.
It's a beautiful portrait.
We had gorgeous light.
Yeah,
that
it
morning.
was beautiful.
Really beautiful light.
I mean, gulls are overlooked, I feel like.
They're stunning.
Look at
the
how beautiful
eyes.
he's got some wonderful makeup on.
Stunning ring build. Yeah.
So yeah, I was trying to get close to these cormorants.
Yeah.
But couldn't quite make it happen for 10 mil.
They kept just out of reach, but they didn't flush, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, no, I wasn't pushing them.
No.
Yeah, they just went out.
Yeah. That's my favorite of that gull.
That's really pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was my client. I just left this in to show
how close those birds are. Wow.
The turnstones are. Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
So that was pretty fun.
Oh, this was from when we were biking, right?
It was. Yeah. We did some biking later that day or another day. Who knows? It's all blur at this point. We've been pretty active down here, which has been great.
Yes.
But it's been like, whew, we need a break from having fun, and we're about to go do a 2-week trip.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gopher Tortoise, just shot it with the phone. And then we actually had a friend of ours take us to see some screech owls, which was pretty cool.
That was cool.
They asked to not have us share their name and the location, obviously. But yeah, it was our first time, both of us, seeing one. And then we have some more fun stories later, but here's just a couple of shots we got with that.
So this is shooting, I think.
Back with the donut bokeh.
Donut bokeh. And the birds are all out of focus. You know, it's not like, this is a little sharp, or a little soft, but I just really liked it anyway.
Oh my gosh, the colors are so just
and you can see the potential.
Juicy colors there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a new term. I
like it.
It's good though.
Makes me thirsty.
That's really freaking pretty.
Yeah, I feel like this was the first morning.
Is this a flock of birds in the back?
Yeah. It is, yeah.
That's awesome.
That I really had fun with that donut bokeh out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a
gorgeous scene. Emily, I love the lines in this.
Yeah.
Like this line, like that little tiny triangle of dry sand.
Yeah.
Just pointing
kind of
right in there.
And
this
then
line pulls you right in.
Too.
That curve wave there. This,
whatever that is.
Curly hairs hovering over top of it. Just an absolute beautiful scene. It really is. And again, great colors and just richness overall. Awesome.
Really?
I haven't got to see a lot of these. Yeah.
I feel like you did see them.
Okay. Well, I don't remember them just because it's been so much.
Yeah. But it is pretty, isn't it?
It's stunning. And I love how...
It's like my photos. I'm like, oh, it's so pretty.
I mean, yeah. Isn't that a great thing? I love when that happens.
Yeah,
when you get to look at something, just go like, wow, I can't believe I captured that. It's such a pretty scene.
I feel like this is because of this show and also just... Well, it's forced me to go through my photos.
Yeah.
It's forced me to like call and have stuff ready to share.
She keeps joking. She's like, "Oh, I got to do some work today."
Yeah.
I keep, like, making it happen.
Otherwise I might just let them sit. Like I've got photos from Costa Rica from January of last year that I haven't even gone through yet.
Yeah.
And so it's like doing my website and making posts of our travels.
Yeah.
Forced me to go through the photos.
Yeah.
And doing this. So same thing.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, oh wow, I'm like, I take some good photos.
Yeah, it is. I really just I want to take a moment to enjoy this bokeh again and point out how this is another one of those, and there's more later. They almost give a sense of motion. Like there's this sense of almost like
even
zoom
in the background
coming
too.
in there. Yeah, and it's really weird because there's no motion there. 3200th of a second.
I mean that's like fast, yeah.
Super fast shutter speed,
Yeah.
right? But incredible colors.
Oh, and so I was shooting the donut bokeh, and Ray was shooting the housing.
Yes, this was the bad housing morning.
Was it?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. So I've told this story on the podcast, but I'll tell it here. I went out with the underwater housing in the morning in the surf. You were shooting the donut bokeh lens.
Yeah.
And I was all excited. This was the first time I was getting in the surf, like in the pounding waves. And light was beautiful. And I started with the 24 to 120 this time instead of the 10 millimeter. I knew going out to the surf, the birds I was going to work with, I was never getting that close to them for 10 mil. So I set a zoom. I picked around 50 millimeter. It looks like I picked 52 millimeter here.
Yeah.
For this first couple of shots. And so I'm out there shooting these things, and Ola's going, well, oh gosh, you're getting this dreamy, gorgeous stuff.
Yeah, that is fun. I didn't share that one.
Yeah, beautiful. Awesome stuff.
Thank you.
And so here's a couple more from the housing. It's really neat seeing how different the lighting is, front lit versus backlit.
Yeah.
Same time, because we have our cameras in sync
That's
lately.
why they're showing like
Back and forth.
Yeah.
This is what we're shooting at those times.
Yeah, that is kind of fun.
So I'm at 52 millimeter, and I'm already loving the look of this. I love the foam coming in. I'm getting some shots like this kind of stuff, and I'm getting excited about it. But then there was a couple of things that happened, and I think that's probably about the end of that. So I'll share the rest of the story. There was a couple of photos that happened that I was like in my head instantly.
You're like, I need it to be wider. He comes over to me and I'm shooting and he's like, I gotta zoom out. I gotta, I'm gonna have it wider.
And we don't have the setup in the housing yet that allows us to zoom. It's probably something we're gonna add soon.
We talked about it.
Especially because of after what happened here. So
I'm like, okay, and we're trying to.
I have you help hold the thing, and I start on starting here.
The sand.
So I was in the surf with the pounding sand, and it was rough surf, and the sand it's like in the water. And so it's just getting pounded in everywhere.
Yeah.
No leaks or anything, like, mind you. Like, the way the thing works, it's hard to explain, but there's the ceiling part of it wasn't being affected by this, but the plastic threads with the dome port screws onto were full of sand. So I get the port off. Yeah. No problem. No problem, but with some effort.
But then you couldn't get it back on.
And
or you got it back on.
I
but
did,
then
but it was like not tight enough.
Tight.
So I was like, I'm going to take it back to the car, to the van, clean it up.
Yeah.
You keep shooting, having fun. I'll come back. Long story short, folks, I never got this thing back on. I cleaned it, I tried it, and then I went back in, and it was instantly leaking. Just a little bit, but enough that I was like, I got to stop shooting it.
Yeah.
So I ruined my entire morning just by messing with it.
I was like, do you want to shoot some with the donut bokeh?
Which I did. I did have a couple of those.
You did.
But I ruined my entire housing morning.
Outing, yeah.
Like the underwater setup.
But,
just because
and then
I
was like, after I wanted the donut bokeh back, I wanted the lens back. I was like, well, maybe I'll just go get another lens or something. And then I was like, you can just shoot the 24-120 out of the housing. So you did that as well. And I did end up doing
some good stuff. Yeah. This is another great example of that sense of movement.
With the donut bokeh lens. Yeah, I really like that one.
Beautiful colors.
Sharpie knife.
That one too. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're so painterly. It's straight up like a painting in one click.
Yeah.
It really, with the right scene,
Yeah, and crazy again, like 1250 second. And
Yeah, that's fun. Oh, yeah, all these are awesome. Ooh, a subtle donut bokeh, but it's there.
Yeah.
I like that, yeah. Ruffled up laughing gull.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh, here you can see how unsharp he is, I feel like.
I know, let's zoom, let's enjoy.
Oh, it's bad, it's bad.
Oh, man. It's sharp enough, though. What a stunning moment.
I have a different
acceptable level of sharpness
for the donut bokeh. Yeah.
No.
And this is what I was trying to do that morning, was get these crashing
the big.
Because I saw it when I was looking through the lens. I was like, oh, this would be really cool to get, a bird with it.
And I was just in that.
Yeah, you were just in it.
Getting
instead.
pummeled. Actually, I wasn't in it too long. Do you think, I feel like it's something that like, it's so fresh and new and exciting to us now that you're like, yes, this is acceptably sharp, but I feel like 3 months, 6 months down the road.
Yeah, I don't know. I still love
I feel like
this specific shot. I mean, maybe my standards will increase.
That's what I mean. I feel like your level of acceptance of not sharp will.
I think it'll depend on all the elements of the photo.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's how it is
pretty.
Even with regular photos sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. Yep. Great edit. Nice.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Whoa, what in the...
I don't remember this at all. Maybe that's like a weird...
How did that happen? Is that like a weird
cloning thing?
Oh, okay.
Oh, maybe it didn't update or something.
Oh, it probably like copied from another one.
That's super weird.
Oh, it does say remove settings need to be updated. That's what happened. So she sent these over from her laptop to mine. And I guess some of this AI removal stuff needs to be updated.
Oh, I mean, wouldn't have left it like that.
No, of course, right? But it probably just did a different version of it now.
Yeah,
and so,
it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you get the gist of what I was going for, trying to remove the goal.
That's so funny. We'll have to pay attention to that next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops. Well, so probably some of these will have...
some extra birds and weirdness in them.
Yeah. That's my photo.
Yeah.
That's
stunning.
great.
It's stunning. I love the lens flare that's happening here.
Yeah.
I mean, a running Sanderling, that's pretty freaking sharp. Like you nailed focus on his foot
are my bird,
and back. Yeah.
So they're my spirit bird.
Gosh, like just look at that. It's so dreamy. Let us know in the comments, please, everybody watching. Do you like this look? Is it not for you? Because I totally get that it's not for everybody.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's a bold, in-your-face kind of stylistic decision, you know?
But I love it.
I was just gonna say one that we certainly are loving and enjoying.
Oh, so you must have still been shooting. Yeah.
Fumbling around the surf, yeah.
Oh, 38. Look, that must have been when you
the first photo.
Switched it.
I went back.
You didn't even go there. You went from 52 to 38.
I mean, it gives you a little bit more, you know.
You're
just
funny.
Trust in me.
You're funny.
Yeah, I went back in the surf, took one shot, and then saw a little bit of water in the front of the housing. I was like, all right, no more of this. I gotta stop.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Gorgeous.
So these are yours now with the donut bokeh.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, because I see they're rated.
Oh. Nice. I do remember taking that one, yeah. So yeah, I took a few of them as well. And then, yeah, you had the great idea. You're like, just take the camera out of the housing and then you can shoot. And I think I did get some cool stuff. These are fun.
I mean, yeah, they're great.
Yeah, I like these a lot.
Yeah.
This thing is so cool.
Ooh, I love this one.
That one's dreamy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, this is probably back to you.
Yeah, because I would do that.
Yeah, totally. And this is...
And then you got... Yes, I was sitting there. I had offered up the donut bokeh lens, and then I was sitting there just kind of like, okay.
Can I have it back? Give me my lens back now.
But I didn't want you to have nothing.
Yeah.
So, smart me. It was just like, oh, shoot the lens that you have.
I love this 24
look at this.
120.
Yeah, these are epic.
They're really fun.
These. And it's so crazy, right? Like same morning, same time, and just the difference in shots and the look of the shot. Look at those rays.
All of this stuff, yeah. I mean, we got such diversity, and then you're shooting that at the same time.
Yeah.
Incredible.
It's crazy.
Yeah. What a different look. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, he's sharp enough.
Yeah. Oh, that's totally sharp.
Enough.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the best you're going to get out of that lens.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure that's sharp.
Yeah.
My gosh, and that's so pretty. Yeah.
And then same moment.
Yeah.
So it's like pretty cool to see. Yep. I mean, that lens gives great bokeh too.
42 millimeter, yeah. I mean, it's just an f4 lens.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. Like the...
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's donut.
Yeah. Yeah, just a little dreamy scene out there.
Yeah.
That's right. I remember we had these gulls coming in. I realized when they were nearby, I started tossing shells. And they would just fly in to see.
Look at their wings there.
The laughing gulls.
Very angelic.
Yeah, look at that. And ring-billed. Or actually, that might be a herring. Gull. There was one I had where they're like chasing each other and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Epic light that morning.
Yeah,
for a while.
really.
Yeah, we had some really good. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Portrait with the donut bokeh. And I was like, oh wow, look at those cool textures back there. That's just like the...
There's the beginning of the sand in my hair that lasted for a week, you know? Yep. Emily laying in her happy place. Yeah.
I do love the beach.
Yeah, you do. All right, so we gotta move. Yeah, I like this one with the chasing. That was really fun. So yeah, we had a great time that morning. Emily being silly.
Ooh.
And then
this must
evening.
have been. I was gonna say, love that.
Cleaned the housing up. Thankfully, got everything was fine.
Everything was fine. Yeah, you tested it multiple times.
Yeah, made sure all was good with leaking. And so, sigh of relief because it's not cheap to fix or replace. And so went back out that evening. I was like, I'm determined. And so I went with 35 millimeter basically. It ended up at 36, but 35 millimeter was the goal.
I love this one. I don't know if I've seen this one.
And here, I'll hop back. Guys, I got beat up in the ocean.
Oh.
I got beat up. Yes, I really did.
I think we have some photos to prove that.
We do. We have some photos and videos to prove that. I don't know. Do we have...
Oh, should we have
any videos,
some videos maybe?
Of some of that stuff to show? Let's take a look real quick. I don't know if there's anything else.
Let's show you getting beat up.
Should we do that before we show the photos? Okay,
Yeah.
so you guys can get a sense of what I was dealing with out there. Yeah, so the surf was pretty big.
Boom.
Yeah, that's me. And so, but I was shooting through this, guys. Like, this is when I was shooting. Like, that's what I was actually after. I would wait for those waves to hit me like that. And then let's fast forward. We need to see that. Yeah. Watch what happens on this wave, though. I get completely turned. And I was trying to shoot that royal turn right there. But look, I just get, like, pushed in the sand. Just sliding around, having a blast. And again, that housing did amazing. It held up through all of that. Not a drop of water inside of that setup. All right, back to Lightroom. So yeah,
you got
35
some
millimeter,
amazing stuff. Like,
and
look at
this is what I was after.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of chaos here, craziness, and then at the same time,
I was shooting the Plena.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the 135 1.8, and there was this snowy out there eating flies, picking up flies, and I haven't seen that behavior. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Look at that.
Yeah. He's
So
got a little
cool.
fly.
Yeah, so cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, I was obviously really close to him.
So this is another one that's funny though. It's like, look at the reference of how close you are. It's a little bit further than you were with that 10 millimeter one.
And then he's like frame filling almost.
At 135 millimeter, yeah, for sure. You
Yeah.
know. It's funny. We both do the same thing. We call this kind of like frame filling.
Yeah.
It's like a large bird. We're so used to like so much smaller.
Well, you gotta
frame
have the
stuff.
space, you know.
I know. It's just funny. Like, so many people would be like, "This is small in frame." You know? Emily shot an entire series of just gorgeous, gorgeous light. I'm gonna actually filter these real quick so we can stay with yours, so it's not like doing the bounce back and forth thing.
Oh, okay.
So let's just go through your series of snowies here, and then we'll go back and look at some of the stuff I shot.
Okay.
So it's a little bit less jarring.
Yeah. I don't know if I have. Hopefully, I have them all in. Yeah. Like, I love this one.
Gosh, that lens is so dreamy. It really is
so dreamy.
Yeah.
I think it's one of my favorite lenses.
Oh, fun. Nice.
Yeah.
There's what happens when I was getting hit with some waves.
I zoomed in.
Of course you did. Yeah, it was rough out there, guys. It was rough out there. Not gonna lie, but I gotta say, through the whole thing, I was having a blast.
So should we go back to, or are we just gonna go through these first?
Yeah, we can just enjoy all these Sanderlings and just like normal lens stuff, and then we'll see all the crazy underwater housing stuff. Beautiful light.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the colors in the foreground there.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like a lot of lenses, if this aperture was closed down, you'd see so much detail here.
Yeah.
But it just renders this
makes everything so
dreamy.
Yeah.
I like that you have one with no horizon up top, the sky, and then a version with a little bit of that.
It's
like they have a different feeling to them.
Yeah.
I like both for different reasons, you know.
Obviously kept so many of these because I just love Sanderlings,
Yeah, you
and this is me culling, and I still kept like.
Yeah.
So.
Same day or?
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like it that evening.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you want to talk a little bit about just what you're doing here?
Yeah, making nice photos. I didn't edit
How you
out
go
all the
about doing
dust
it, though?
spots, but yeah, you know, intentional camera movement.
Yep.
And you just whoop, and
you're down. It looks like you went to 13th of a second, 15th of a second for most of these.
Yeah.
That one's really pretty. I love the wave that you can get that sense of it there.
But sometimes I just do that when I don't have any birds around. And I had walked down the beach.
Down to 6th of a second there.
I was just trying
things.
things.
Cool.
Yeah. And
So
I really
pretty.
like that one. Yeah, and I was waiting, you know, seeing if I could find something. And in the meantime, That's what I was doing.
Yeah, because I was back, I think, cleaning up the house and getting ready. I had a client that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yes. So yes, that's exactly what happened. You left earlier,
pretty.
and I stayed because I was like trying to figure out what was happening there. Yes, and I stayed to do a little bit of this, maybe just another 10, 15 minutes.
And you wanted to stay more, but I had asked.
I did,
you had
but
to come back.
I had the key. Oh,
Yeah.
you needed my camera. You were going to use that specific lens for the
That's
shooting the
what
night
it was.
herons.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah, I would have stayed, but it's okay.
The colors are incredible.
And so I took a lot of these. Sorry if you
That's
don't
cool.
like them, but
Yeah.
yeah, I guess the audience can tell us. I really like this one.
Yeah, me too.
If you like those or not. But yeah, I had 2 groups of sanderlings come by right before I had to go.
Oh, that's funny. You're F16 there.
Yes, and so that really screwed me because my settings were way off.
Yeah.
I guess I
Got the shutter speed up.
got the shutter speed up enough, but yes, it was a struggle.
Yeah.
I was doing all sorts. Look, I was
You're
like
back down
ISO
now.
900, like.
Oh, there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was a F16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But
I
then-
was like, oh, shoot. And yeah, I was like crazy camera work. And
Yeah.
at least I got a couple.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, when
So
this beach,
pretty.
the water, especially at dawn and dusk, it just, that turquoise really takes on the turquoise color.
Yeah.
And the pink and the turquoise just look so nice together.
That's so stunning. And there's me starting the night herons. All right, so I'll hop back here. Let's see, I had
Must have been.
Z6 III for
Yeah.
that. So let me go back to the beginning of that chaos and we'll switch to that camera. And then you guys can see, I'll just go through these quick. There's not much to talk about it other than to say I was basically just trying to wait till waves were just like hitting me, blasting me, trying to get some, sense of like the crashing wave, the foam. This one I was really bummed because it was like, man, he was close to the
if he
opening.
was right in that.
That's the only reason I kept this to show
opening.
everybody.
Yeah.
It's like if he happened to be right there and I didn't clip the back,
That would be so cool.
like what incredible framing I would have gotten there. So more of a just conceptual idea for potential there,
Yeah. Love this one.
Yeah, but for a lot of these, I don't think we really need the settings. The settings are going to stay the same. It's just the shutter speed is going to move around there. But I'll just take that out.
So cool. It almost looks like a chandelier or something.
It does look like you're shooting through something like that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There's my final edit on that. I just took like a couple of those little distracting birds
okay.
out just to clean it up. Yeah, and it was like I was trying different things. Sometimes
Yeah, that's definitely plunking down.
water receding
Yeah.
and just washing over the lens, the big waves. This one I shot because like this to me, I'm like, if we can get a bird flying with something like this,
With
or
the-
if we had like a wading bird, like a bigger wading bird up here, right? Like conceptually, this is another thing I want to do is like shoot down the length of the wave.
Right.
But logistically with where these birds were lined up and the way the waves were
Right.
coming, it wasn't happening at this particular beach.
Right.
I think it's going to require almost smaller waves if we're going to shoot stuff on the beach.
Yeah, I wonder, we're planning on, after we get back from Costa Rica, doing some more travels within Florida. So I wonder if some of those beaches might
It might work out.
opportunity
I
because the
think-
water's still clear and like.
Yeah, I think even Hilton Head, and like for this kind of stuff, you don't need clear water, because it's just all the crashing foam and everything.
But I think the bigger the waves, the more foam and stuff that you have.
That is true. But I also think the bigger the waves, the further off the shoreline those birds are going to have to rest.
Yeah.
And if they're small, you're never going to be able to get them
Yeah.
in there enough to be a subject unless you get a lucky flight shot. So flights could
Right.
be the way to play. And this is a spot I think I could do that. It was just so hard. It was just constantly getting knocked around and beat up,
It's fun. I like that.
Yeah, I kept this just because it was
It's
fun.
pretty,
And
yeah.
again, I feel like maybe some concepts of this can be in play with
Yeah.
if we can get close enough to some birds or something. But
I love that.
definitely some of my more unique photos as of late,
Yeah,
It's
for
hard
sure.
to make anything look like this any other way
Yeah.
other than this. And I gotta say, again, you saw the videos of me getting so
Pummeled.
thrashed in the waves, but
Yeah.
it was so fun.
Yeah.
I had a blast just getting like knocked around. And then, like beautiful waves coming over there. And then at some point I figured out this.
Oh, yeah.
The dome port was completely covered with just water drops from just
Mm-hmm.
wave after wave, and I realized when the sun was getting low, if I lifted up and just no waves, no nothing, just all the water drops on the front of the dome port
And that's what it created.
turned into this
This-
bokeh when
so
you put
cool.
the sun on it. And I was like,
Well,
there we
that's
go.
cool.
Let's take advantage of that.
And then you don't even need to get pummeled by a wave.
No, you can just wet the thing.
Yeah.
And then we talked about an idea conceptually.
Yes.
We might be able to like bring a spray bottle or something
Yes.
and just shoot
the
that
housing like in the forest.
anywhere with
Yeah.
that kind of bokeh
Yeah.
on it.
We got to do that.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I love the
this.
curve.
Yeah, very.
So simplistic. And the same concept as your Great Blue Heron.
Yes.
Low enough.
Very like minimalistic.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
And just, yeah.
Yeah, really fun. Here's me trying to shoot down the waves, but I didn't get, when the flock was flying in, I didn't have a nice timing of waves, like that big one. So, and then I think this was all from, I don't know if this was it. Yeah, a surfer had come out
Oh.
and kicked up the whole flock.
Okay.
And he comes out and walks
Right in the middle,
into the
like
flock.
right to him. Yeah.
Right to the flock.
Yeah, I've
I'm
seen that a couple
and
of
then
times
he sees
too.
me there photographing them too.
It's like,
and it's
oh, whoops.
I mean, I got some cool stuff of them taking off.
Right.
So not the end of the world. And they did just circle back and land right there. But it's like, come on, people. Like, you can't go anywhere else. All right, so let's get out of this.
Back to, so that you got to go up, I think.
Yeah.
To get to
The night
just
heron
the night
stuff.
herons. Yeah.
So took a client out. I didn't shoot much, just a couple images because I was doing a lot of working with him, lighting for him. But another awesome night out.
Oh, and you guys saw the raccoons.
Saw the raccoons, yeah. And then this is just, I have this in there because this is how we work. Yeah.
This is just us being weird.
Yeah, I was getting ready for a client Zoom session, and that's what Emily does. Yeah. Oh, super fun, tiny in frame.
This is
Back to
definitely
Plena,
Plena.
right? Yeah, I know.
So that must have been the next morning.
Yeah.
I think you had a client. It was you had a back-to-back
I did.
clients, and so I was like, well, I'm going to be up anyway. Or I'm going to be there anyway in the location.
Beautiful.
And I think that's how I ended up with so many photos that day. Or I guess maybe like,
From both of them?
from those two outings.
This is beautiful, just the scene.
I think there's a bird right in there, but I didn't
Is
even
that what that
realize
is?
it. Yeah.
Maybe it's
Maybe it's
some
just a
junk.
lump of sand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. So there's probably a bunch. You can just go quick.
Yeah.
But gosh, I just love that lens. I mean, look
That's
at this.
really cool, Emily.
Yeah.
That's really cool perspective.
There's a
I
couple
love
of
the
them.
slope of it and the misty wave back there.
Yeah. I mean, the foam
Wow.
that
Oh,
you
that's
get,
even more fun
like, yeah, the foam and like then the mist from the
crashing waves.
crashing waves
Yeah.
is so nice.
It is. We
It's-
haven't shot beaches like this that much.
Right.
That do all this.
Because like Hilton Head, like we've talked about before, the waves are much smaller.
this
like
tall.
they're like they could just be like
A little ripple.
a little ripple.
Yeah.
And so it just does not give that same effect. And here it's like morning and evening,
Yeah.
without fail, you have this kind of atmosphere. So
Gosh, it's so pretty. That's really fun watching them run like that.
yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
you can. I mean,
Beautiful.
I haven't even culled all the ones from this
Yeah.
morning.
I love the out of focus bird in this one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Interesting, just like almost matched shape.
Right?
Kind of really coming out. Again, same thing there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really, really fun. Gosh, the light that morning.
I know.
I should have started on the beach.
So pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
I love that lens.
Wow.
And so that's you.
I mean, we had some fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shot this 100 to 400 with the client. Jeez. Flock taking off in
there's
the back.
a flock in the background.
So cool.
Oh, I also included him because he only had one little foot.
Oh,
His foot.
there's a lot of that here.
Yeah, from the
Fishing
fishing.
line. Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it is sad. They kind of get around pretty good though. It's kind of
Yeah,
impressive.
he was doing all right.
He was doing his thing, yeah. Out there
But-
doing it.
Yeah. I mean, they're nice photos. Anyway.
Gosh, the foreground.
Yeah.
So pretty.
So
It's so
there's
funny.
something I liked about this one, even though he's away.
Heading out.
Yeah. There was something about all the bokeh and like this kind of sense of movement that I liked.
Yeah,
there.
definitely. I looked through a set of photos like this, seeing these from you. I haven't seen a lot of these yet from you. And it reminds me like there's times when we might end up trying to go out on a beach on an overcast day. And it's just like,
Why?
You can't compare.
Yeah.
I know
Wait, when are we going out to the beach on an
know.
overcast day?
Well, it just happens sometimes. I'm saying, like, if you're in a place, you know what I mean? Where, like, we don't choose to do it.
Yeah.
But you're, like, out there and you're, like, trying in your head to, like, no, I can make the best of it.
If
and
you
I
have
can
a
do
white
some
bird and an overcast, maybe.
Yeah. But, like,
I don't know.
you see this kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
it's just, like, how can you compete with this light
Yeah.
and color and richness and vividness and all that?
Yeah.
It's hard to. Oh,
Oh,
wow.
I think I included some where I tried to remove that. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. This is what the AI did.
I mean,
The
I
AI
think it's
removal.
pretty cool.
That's pretty
Although
wild.
I wonder if it's like, is it a weird sense of, like, if you go back, see how it just continues ocean, like, over, I think it continued it all the way. I don't
Yeah.
know. I guess
It could make
it
sense.
might work, but
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if it would do anything different, like if you started out with it like it's crooked to begin with, like with this thing sloped up,
yeah.
and that's sloped a little bit, but
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean, it
it's easy
did a pretty
rotation.
good job.
It sure did. I mean, it's pretty wild looking. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Same
another
thing
one.
here,
Yeah.
except I couldn't get the right. I wanted
Mix
it
of
to take
this.
away this part too, the back. over
Oh,
there.
that.
Yeah.
Not the wave. Yeah. Well, I don't know how it would do that. Yeah. That'd be
No,
really
I think
tough.
it did. Ooh, that's fun.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Yeah, we're just playing with some type portraiture there. Cool.
Yeah, these are some basic ones, but
Yeah.
just yeah. Sanderlings, they just
You can't help it.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is just a show
I
about
mean,
Sanderlings.
Stronger sun, lights,
Yeah.
the colors get more vivid, everything like that. I love the running. That was funny. It's like his legs haven't changed. there.
Yeah, it's
That's
probably
funny.
like 1 second to the next.
It's really pretty.
Yeah,
Nice. Yeah, the small and frame works there. And there is
it
something
works
fun.
so nice with the slope.
There's something fun to play with that slope.
Yeah,
It
for
can
sure.
really
Oh,
do
for sure. Yeah, you
some
could do so
interesting
much
things.
with it. I think.
There's sometimes where it's kind of annoying because you want to do something, but
Right.
other times all that foam is just so hard to beat.
Yeah.
It's so pretty and fun
And I
to play
love the
with.
way like the wave is lit up in the background too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that impression. I love that movement
Yeah.
on the legs there. Yeah. Nice.
Oops, crooked. Sorry.
It's all right. We talked about that. It was a challenging crop. Yeah. Fun running. Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I just included all my recent edits in
Nice.
this, so
Yeah, we'll just go through them.
yeah. Oh, and then there's
This is
you at the
me
beach. So
back
then
with the
I
client.
think left and you came out to the beach. We were like,
Yep. Did a little bit of back and forth.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love that one.
Thanks.
Oh, then this must have been a different outing next.
It is a different outing. I'm trying to think of. Well, I don't remember the context of this, but I ended up with the donut bokeh lens. Oh, I think I went
Yeah.
out with the donut bokeh lens and the tripod setup with the ND filter
Okay.
to try some stuff.
Oh, I think I was stayed back. You
Yeah.
were
You were just tired or something.
yeah.
I don't know.
You were there was
Yeah.
no there was yes, I can't put together my
I'm
thought,
trying to, yeah,
but it's
I'm
okay.
curious, but-
You weren't initially gonna go there. You were gonna go somewhere else to shoot, and then
I was.
yes,
Oh,
but it's okay.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Anyway,
at all.
and I was tired, and I stayed in
Okay.
because I wasn't gonna be part of that type of shooting.
Oh, I was gonna do the floating hide.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you remember that?
Yes.
Oh, I was wondering why you weren't saying. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna do the floating hide. The conditions weren't ideal for it. It was like really wavy and everything, just too windy. So then I went to the beach. That's right, and you stayed back here. at
Yes,
Stacy's.
because I
Yeah.
wasn't gonna be doing the floating.
That's
hide.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember how I ended up there. Anyway, I had some really fun with that donut bokeh lens.
Yeah.
The sun just did some trippy stuff. I actually got it. It actually looks like an actual donut there.
Yeah,
It's almost
totally.
got like that, like a rounded 3D look
Yeah.
to it. It's really bizarre. But this royal tern flock is so easy to just like crawl in and get close to. There's my final edit on that one.
Love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
love
it just
all
gives
these.
a dreamy look. And I really think there's something to this. I kept this in here because it's not quite there for me yet.
Yeah.
But I do think there's something to maybe a little bit of a softer out of focus version
Sure.
of these photos. Because again, manually focusing birds in flight, not the easiest.
It's tough.
Yeah, it's harder when they're just sitting motionless.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then same thing with a flock of birds
Love
in the
the
background there.
birds.
Yeah.
They're flying.
Yeah.
And so then that was that ND filter one.
I did
Yeah.
some long exposure stuff. So yeah, 5 seconds on this one. It's really fun. It's a variable neutral density filter. And this is like the inlet where the tide was just kind of ripping through. A lot of movement in the water. And so if you shoot a regular shutter speed, the texture's like kind of too much.
Oh, and then you also played with multiple exposures this morning.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did all kinds of experimenting that morning.
Yeah.
So yeah, I shot this guy and then played with that. Just none of these are good. Just playing around with it and
Yeah.
seeing what it does. So I realized I could shoot this crow silhouetted and then just
Throw 'em
separate.
in with a bunch of bokeh in the
yeah,
background.
just shoot some bokeh separately. So it's kind of fascinating to play with.
And it made me think of the idea of doing one of those intentional camera movement of the waves
Yes.
and then a bird like
Yep.
in flight
Yeah.
and mixing those two.
Totally. Yeah, that would be really fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really want to try that idea.
Yeah.
Had a beautiful pileated that morning, and then we did a paddleboard sesh. So let's see.
Oh, we have some video of that.
We do have some video. Yeah, and I don't know if there was video of anything else yet, but
oh, the sanderlings.
Yeah, let's check out some of these. I don't think so. No. Yeah, here's some video you did.
That was the night that
those pastel
you
colors.
had and you had the night herons.
Okay.
So that was before.
Yep. This is when you're out there doing those pastel movement things
Yes.
and stuff like that.
I mean, look at how cute they are. I love them so much.
But you guys can really get a sense of like the slope of the beach here and how kind of crazy the surf is, you know. And I say crazy. It's nothing intense.
No.
But for us and where we normally are shooting.
Versus our normal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I just love them.
Yeah. It is fun to watch them.
And they usually in groups, and it's just fun.
Yep.
It's just nice.
Yeah, it certainly is. So let's see. We ditched that one. Let's see what we got next. This was that morning. This was that morning I shot some video on the donut bokeh lens. So it needs to be stabilized. There's no stabilization in that lens.
Yeah.
So the video is a little shaky, but I thought it'd be real fun to see that donut bokeh
really
kind
nice.
of moving around back there. You know?
It's like calming, kind of.
Yeah.
You can see the little bit of movement and the waves.
So that was cool.
And then this was
I think this is probably a different day, but there was one of those mornings you were shooting some sanderlings. We were out together, and remember I got this clip of them coming in slow motion.
And this looks so cool.
If you guys watch the flock and the way it kind of just.
Well, it's because it's that extra slow motion, right?
This
with
one's,
the Z6 III.
I forget how many speeds. I think it's like 8x slow-mo or something like that. Yeah. But it's really neat, especially when they glide here like this.
Yeah.
It's just the way the flock kind of like.
It almost looks unreal.
Yeah.
But it's real.
It's just the perspective of them.
The shifting.
Yeah, the parallax, I think, is the effect it's called.
Really cool.
But that's really, really fun to watch, so I wanted to share that one. And then I think we've got, let's see if we have anything else. This other flight stuff we'll get to later. And then, we're out paddleboarding. And, well, I guess it started with...
the manatee.
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah.
Huge manatee.
Yeah.
We got to see. So we got to paddle alongside
and we saw multiple manatees.
3-ish, I think. 3, maybe 4.
We saw a lot of manatees.
Yeah, so that was like right in the beginning. We just started.
Yeah, we saw 2 and then, this other guy.
My sister has 2 paddle boards, so she gave us one to paddle on together. And then this is Emily doing all the work, so I just got a nice ride there. That was awesome.
And then we saw this dolphin.
Yeah. You want to share the story on that one?
What's the story?
Oh, it was just how it was so cool that it came right to us.
Oh, we were in this
canal.
Yes. Yeah. And this dolphin was coming right towards us, and it went right to Ray's sister.
Yeah. And so I didn't know where it was at this point, so I think I'm like...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
we
kind
should
of
show her video.
Around. Yeah.
Her video was
she
really
had the
good.
really good one. We should have got that. But you can see it comes right by and then dove right under kind of. But she had a good view. It was right next to her there.
It was right next to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool.
And this was we saw it a ways away. We just all stopped and just waited to see where it would go. And then it just cruised right next to her board there, which was really, really neat. So that was fun.
And it was a beautiful evening out.
It was, yeah.
Spoiler.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was a fun thing. We didn't do much photography, just our phones.
No, just the phones.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And then
that was
back to the beach some morning.
Oh, this is that
the star filter.
Star filter. Yeah. So this company, Tide Optics, had reached out and was like, "Oh, we want to send you a filter." And I was like, "Oh, a filter?" Is that
it is. Yep.
So I played with a few shots of it.
Okay.
I don't know if I have the actual star ones. That was later.
I think they were afterwards.
Yes,
yeah.
It was later.
So
you were shooting the
I went
housing?
Back with the housing. This time I tried 24mm instead of 10.
Yeah.
Just thinking it might get me a little closer to some stuff. So, and it did. But it just, there's something I like about the 10mm on this. So here's a handful of these. I do like this one a lot.
Yeah, I love the sky and the,
Yeah. So I really like that
stunning.
one. The light was incredible.
Yeah.
I had some really good, there's my final edit on that. Just kind of punch it up a little bit.
I just like how you can see kind of that whole scene, the palm trees.
This one feels like, I really do like this one because it feels like there's a nice sense of tying in of the rocks in the water to
like
the rocks
continuity
above.
Kind of.
Totally, right? There's a calmness.
And the water is calm.
Yep.
So that I think helps a lot.
It does, yeah. So there's just a
it
nice
just
feeling
really
to
works.
this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the ones that I'm I think worked better than some of the others. And then here's a great example of like, as soon as you
Right.
see above the water a little bit,
It gets more distracting.
It's more distracting and a very different feel
Yeah.
to like that right smack
Yeah.
calm split
And
level.
yeah, like that line. It was almost like
Yep.
just a line versus
yeah,
not a
seeing
line.
some of that stuff. So
Yeah.
and this one again gives me that line there. And then I started playing with right
mean,
here on this
yeah.
one. He was hunting so crouched so low that it was hard to get him to stand out.
I feel like you got to take away the settings so they could see it.
Yeah, good call.
Because there's another bird back there.
There's a great egret
Yeah.
back there too. I'm gonna switch over real quick because I actually shot a video and it's
Oh, you did?
it shows like how hazy it was when the water gets on the top and it's
yeah.
like towards the end.
It gets really hard. Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought that was just kind of neat seeing like, what it looked like
Yeah.
actually through the lens trying to shoot some of that
It is.
stuff.
It is challenging.
Yeah. So that was kind of neat. And then, I did get,
Ooh, that's pretty.
I think I got particularly close to this guy. He was super friendly. He was just there hunting and I just took my time.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice. You can see his legs.
Oh my gosh, you totally can. How cool
just
is that?
now noticed that.
Yeah, his yellow feet.
Yeah. I'll have to see if I can like
Maybe,
enhance
like,
that a little bit more.
darken them or
It's so
something.
funny how they're disconnected too.
Yeah.
That's always going to be the case a lot of the times.
Yeah.
Because of the water thing.
Oh, that's weird.
That's so funny. And so this is something I almost would think we need to buy a snorkel.
Okay.
So we can put
Oh,
our
so you
eye
can
in the
put the eye
viewfinder.
under. Yeah.
Because right now, we're just using the flip screen.
Yeah.
And when you're out there and the water's moving and there's a
Yeah.
lot of light reflect, it's so hard to actually see what you're doing. We're kind of just shooting blindly.
Like, yeah, and hoping
kind
for the
of.
best. I mean, like, you know what you're doing a little bit, but
You
yeah,
can't see
it's
really
tough.
good.
It's
But
tough.
if you get your eye in the viewfinder, which we can shoot through the viewfinder
Yeah.
with this thing, but when you're shooting that low, your eye would be here and the water is going to be here, right? So your nose and mouth would be underwater.
Yeah.
So you can't breathe. So you could hold your breath and shoot, but if you want to
Right.
keep shooting, it'd be nice to just have a snorkel.
Would your eye, wait, what level of under are we talking? Are our eyes under too? Are we going to get goggles?
No, your eye wouldn't be under.
Oh, your eyes in the viewfinder,
in the
right?
viewfinder, like right
Yeah,
above
right
the
at the
split.
okay.
But it
Yeah.
ends up, if your eye is just above the
Yeah.
water, your nose and mouth are under.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's so funny. I didn't even notice
Yeah.
the legs there. I like this one.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Light, the way that
Yeah.
the light's hitting. Ah, there's you playing with the.
I did.
So I had gone out that morning with this filter, and
That was kind of what you
I
ended
mean,
up with, right?
I had other shots, but that was the only one I guess that I kept from the good light.
Okay.
But I was having a hard time because I was like, I had birds there, and I was, with the goal of trying to get these with the birds, right? The stars and the birds,
Yep.
backlit and everything. And it was like I couldn't. When I was shooting the birds just backlit, the stars weren't happening, and then
Because it was out of focus.
yes, and
The
so then
bokeh.
I shot at just the ocean, and I could get the stars happening, but then there was no birds. So yes, so then you were like, oh well, maybe it has to be,
On the same focal plane or
Yes.
close to it, yeah.
and that's how it is.
It is, yeah. So it's a strong effect. Certainly not for everybody, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But I think it's really fun.
I love the takeoff, but his head kind of got lost.
Yeah.
Like if his head was in a less, like not that craziness, I think I'd really love this shot.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
mean,
but I
I
like this
do
one
think
too.
I
Yeah.
do think it's really fun.
And then you went out and shot these.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wonder why my stars look different.
I think because my guess is shorter focal length, 100 millimeter versus 400 millimeter.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that might have something to do with it.
Yeah.
Or just the intensity of it, maybe. But
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't
it's
know.
more the focal length. Is my
Okay.
guess.
But I do like this one.
Yeah,
And-
and so that's something we're learning right now.
What's that?
Maybe
the
more,
stars. Yeah,
the
yeah.
more zoomed in you are, the longer those points are going to be because
like,
yours are
is
all
that
real
good,
small and
or-
defined. Well, maybe you can play around within
Yeah.
that, right? Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, your stars are also tiny.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. More stars. Campfire
I think that was
night.
our campfire. Okay.
Yeah, the first night out there. I don't even remember anymore what the context was. We're back there at our beach spot. Oh, this was the morning I had a client, and
Okay.
I was encouraging him to shoot some wider stuff.
Yes.
And he did that. So I'll bring the settings back just so you guys can see. I shot the 28 to 400, which is so
Such a fun
amazing.
lens. Yeah. I
just
mean, I
like
love
in-
this breeding.
Yep. And then we went out to the beach
Oh
after
yeah, there was
that.
beautiful
Incredible
rays.
light rays. And so I love that I can do 330 millimeter here, 250 there, and then 47 millimeter right there, And so like just what a difference, right? I didn't move basically.
Yeah.
So shooting that bird far out to sea,
Right.
compressing the light rays back there,
Right.
right? So like that little section is basically like just this little bit right there, because you're seeing just the top edge of these clouds right there.
I think I almost prefer just the wider scene.
I think I do too.
Yeah.
It's just so fascinating that you get to shoot both.
Both, yeah.
Like that bird was way out in the ocean there.
Yeah.
And this bird's sitting on the beach right in front of me.
Right.
And I get to do both with that
and create
lens.
like such a vastly different look.
Totally different, yeah. And so it's so incredible. I absolutely love that lens, and I love just the versatility of it, especially when you have enough light in a place like this. And I know so many people's first response is, oh, f8 minimum aperture, I could never use that. But like if you're shooting this stuff, who cares about the aperture? You know?
Yeah.
Plus I've taken some beautiful just shallow depth of field portraits with it anyway.
Yes,
even at f8, you know.
Yeah.
I
love
think
that one.
I do have some
Video.
of these guys flying around. Maybe not. But same morning, I had some really cool encounters with this flock of black skimmers and terns just doing some flying there. The skimmers would get kicked up and fly back, and that video is not the best, so let's move on. I'm just trashing it right there. This one is a cool landing. I did like this one.
Maybe do it full screen.
There we go.
Yeah. Really pretty.
I love getting the slow landing like that.
Yeah, and the nice bokeh.
I have so many of them.
Oh, really?
Doing this. Yeah, I shot a ton of them because it was hard to frame them just right. You know what I mean? So that was definitely a challenge, but I did enjoy doing that. But there was this huge sanderling flock flying around.
Oh
so
my gosh,
we're taking advantage of that. More of the light rays.
Yeah, it was a stunning. That was just my cell phone shot because I went out a little bit later.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then this is you, right?
I guess.
Yeah, because you took the 1 to 4.
The 1 to 4.
Yeah. And the star filter again you played with, I think, right?
Yeah, I don't think I think I had the star filter on there, but I mean, you
just
wouldn't know it.
Just no effect to it.
Yeah. So, I mean, these are,
Yeah. That's cool framing.
I do really like that. The bird's slightly out of focus, but there's something I really like about that.
Yeah, I like that. There's right in the opening there.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Then
still
my
same
client
morning.
and I back to the beach or the cove side, and we started playing with this, and then I got this one I really liked.
Oh yeah, the light is like really dramatic.
The light got punchy and strong, but I really
feel like
liked.
It works. Yeah.
White birds are so good for that.
Yeah.
They really are. Yeah.
Oh.
Playing around with this kind of stuff. You had a fish, so did some backlight, and just a great morning.
Aha. And then we went to a different spot that you've been to, and I've never been to.
Yes.
So you
you've been wanting to get some sandhill crane colts, the babies.
Yes. And you thought you might know of a place where they might be.
Well, I know of a place where I've seen sandhill cranes almost every time I've gone there, but I've never been there around the season for the babies. And so we went one middle of the day to scout and found them, sure enough. Found them with a colt, which was cool. So then we're like, let's go back the next morning.
Right.
And so this is a great photo of what we found when we first got there.
Beautiful
which was
light.
Nothing.
Oh.
Beautiful light and no birds.
I mean, the tree's nice. You can't see it. Yeah.
Beautiful light and no birds.
Yeah. Right. Yes, you're right. It took us, because we had seen them the day before, we're like, where are these birds? So then we start walking around this whole place, and whoa, what's that?
Yeah. Go ahead. You want to share the story of how it happened?
I mean, we were like looking down this pike. I don't know what to call it.
Yeah, there's like, it's a wastewater treatment area. And so they have a lot of little ponds and then paths like dikes up, lifted up.
And so we see this big blob, and we're like, oh, I wonder what that is. And then you look through the lens and you're like, oh my God, it's a bobcat.
Yeah.
And I have never seen one before, so it was really cool. And so we're like, okay, let's be really still.
Yep.
And what happened next?
Yeah, and then this happened next. Let's see. Here we go. This should be good. Enjoy the... Oh, that doesn't work when I go full screen? Oh, okay. So let's not do full screen. Enjoy the head movement on this, or lack thereof. Watch this. Look how still.
His head is so still.
It's like
wow,
such a good gimbal as he was walking right towards us. So he started out just hunting and stuff, And then when he got this close,
He definitely was curious.
he was totally aware of us, but both of us were like locked in, not moving.
Yeah.
And he just kept coming and coming. And look, like he would pause and then just kept walking.
Yeah.
Like, look at this. It was so great. And we both just kept being like, I can't believe he's
He's
coming.
still coming
You know?
towards us. Yeah. And then there was one point where he kind of tucked back into because he was hunting.
It's so fun to watch.
Yeah. And he tucked back into like the greenery, vegetation. I love his little tail. And we were like, oh, maybe we should move in closer. And then you were like, oh, wait, no, let's just.
Yeah.
We almost moved. And then he came back out.
Yeah. And then this one, I think, is your video.
Oh, okay.
Maybe, or it might be my, I don't know, one of ours.
Yeah.
Just when he walked up to us about this close and then just sat down.
Yeah.
And just sat there and looked at us.
Yeah.
And then we started doing a little bit of moving around, just trying to fix some backgrounds and get some better perspectives. And it was okay with us for a little bit. And then it finally was just like, yeah, okay. And it just like walked off slow, nothing too crazy, but like what an encounter.
Yeah, he's so beautiful.
What an encounter. Yeah, it was a beautiful, beautiful cat. Really, really cool. I don't know if we have any other video of that.
This one is the slow-mo.
Oh, yeah, nice. Yeah, you got the slow-mo, so that other one was mine. And
yeah,
you shot this nice slow motion of it sitting there. Look at the difference in the clarity from the perspective. I had more light on the lens, like lens flare.
Yeah.
And as it kind of washed out, it was just like crystal clear. Look at him stretching up looking.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. These are awesome. So we were so thrilled. Absolutely thrilled.
Yeah, totally.
We really were, yeah.
And then...
so here's like, that's some photos you shot of him walking up down the path. That was a little bit further away.
Yeah.
So it was interesting. Look at the focal length, right?
Oh my God, yours is like so much dreamier and nice.
The 400-2.8 with the teleconverter switched in, plus an added teleconverter.
So 784 millimeter.
Almost 800 millimeter.
And I'm 400.
You were just shooting 400. So these are about the same distance. Like these
probably. Yeah, they would have been.
I shot that one before you.
Yeah, they would have been at the same time. Yeah.
But what a difference in perspective. I love that you got low though. I was stuck sitting up because I started doing video, and then by the time we got close enough, I was like, I don't want to move at all.
Him.
And spook it. And so I stayed up a little higher. That's fun with the grass foreground. Yeah, I kind of like the mysteriousness of it.
Versus this, you can't compare.
And then, I got this nice portrait. This was a horizontal shot. I just cropped it vertical because there was nothing happening on the left and right.
Yeah.
And I was actually too afraid to rotate.
Oh, yeah. That would be
and,
a
like,
big
move
movement.
my arms.
Yeah.
So I was just like, just stay, you know.
I mean, what a difference in the 400 to 800 there.
Right? Big difference there. Yeah. Yeah.
Aww.
And then we walked back to the van.
And then there was the cult with the...
Yep. We got the Colt.
Parents.
Yeah, so let's check out. We got a few fun videos here.
There he's getting some grub.
Oh, Emily got this great footage of him getting getting fed, which is super cool.
Yeah.
And then we have just, you got some nice slow-mo of him walking.
Look at his little arms.
Around the... So this is something you've been wanting to see for a while. You've never seen the Colts before. So that was really exciting that we were able to get that.
Look at his little nictitating membrane.
Yes. Yeah. I like your cautiousness on saying that, but you said it correct. Yeah, that's fun. I don't know if there's... Yeah, this one I just had because it was like backlit, like following
so
the parents, yeah.
Oh, so cute.
They're so goofy. Look at those chunky knees.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So cute.
So that was a great time. Oh, here's one more. Look at the
stretch.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, one more. Oh, no.
Yep. So yeah, we got a couple of photos of that. Here's some from Emily.
Getting the grub.
Yep. Oh, that's nice. I like the position there.
Yeah, I had a couple with him kind of close there. And
adult framing.
Yeah.
Yeah, really cool. Nice. Light was stronger than we would have liked because it took us a while. We were out with the Bobcat and then came back for that.
Yeah.
But, we tried to make the best out of it. And I think they still work. And then we went out the next morning.
And
this morning.
See in the middle?
Never found them.
Never found a Bobcat either.
Yep. So, yeah, that's really awesome. Yeah, nice. You got like clean shot there.
Thanks.
Yeah, really cool. I was just going to say, it was this mine because all of a sudden it got so close. But I think at one point they just kind of walked right up to you.
I was pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely were. There's one I grabbed with the backlight.
Yeah.
And I like this one, shooting down
I love
the
this
trees
one,
there. Yeah, really, really cool. Nice shot. So yeah, we had an amazing, amazing morning. Like that was definitely a highlight morning. And
and then we were camping.
is it that night? It was that same night.
Yeah.
It was that same night. Yeah, so this was last night as we record this.
And I lit up a blazing fire, and then you were like, "Oh my gosh, I hear a screech owl."
Yep.
And I was like, "Oh," and you found it. You
found
heard
him.
the call, and then we found him right away. And then I was
He
like,
hung
"Oh,
around for a
go
while.
grab the Plena," because obviously we didn't just have it out there by the fire.
Yeah.
And so then we realized if we could light up the fire
Yes.
with these palm fronds,
Yep.
then it would light up the bird enough
So
to
we would
make
just like dead palm fronds. We would throw that on the fire. They flame up like crazy. Lots of big
Yeah.
flames. It would give us light, and that's how we shot this. So this was one I took, and then you ended up shooting
Yeah.
a few more. And it was funny. Emily was like, "All right, I need some light to focus." I think we would use the phone light,
just to see him.
just real quick. Turn
Yeah.
it on. You'd focus on it.
Yeah.
And then we'd turn that off because we didn't
Yeah.
want to like leave too much light on. But he was by the fire, so there was some illumination anyway. It wasn't
Right.
like we were lighting them up in the pitch black.
No.
And then once you had focus, I was like, all right, here we go. And I would throw the palm on there.
Yeah.
It would light up. Oh, that one's funny. I love the like kind of framing you have there.
Yeah.
With that, works really, really well.
I think
and
that's
this
it.
this was a gray morph, by the way. It just
looks really red from the fire.
all
Yeah,
that orange light. Yeah, and we didn't
Yeah.
bother trying to color correct it out, which I kind of wonder, like, if you even can. Like, what happens if you white balance this thing to actually make him kind of neutral there?
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, it's too green. I don't know. Yeah, there was so much orange light. It's hard to actually
the blue's
correct it
kind of
out.
cool.
It kind of works.
Yeah.
But it fits the story
Yeah.
so much more.
Yeah.
And
'cause
how
it was
it
by
actually
the fire.
looked.
Yeah.
Like that's what it looked like to our
Yeah.
eyes
It looked
there.
like red almost.
Just
Yeah.
absolutely so red. So you're caught up. That was everything we've been doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went out this morning. It was just kind of a bust. We didn't really
Yeah,
shoot much of
didn't shoot
anything, which was fine with us.
I was like, woohoo, less photos to.
Less photos to go through, yeah. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. We are, like we said, getting ready to go to Costa Rica for 2 weeks. So we're not going to have anything for you while we're gone, but I think these episodes should fill in until right about when we get back. And then we'll catch you up again on that trip.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, everybody.
Thank you.
See you then.